Okay, so we're gonna finally start painting. And we're gonna do it with a simple project where you have to have a foreground, a geometric object, an organic object, and a background. So you can see here I have grass, my geometric object is a house, and then a tree for my organic object, and then my background is just a nice blue sky. Up to you how you want to organize or which objects you're going to pick. But if you can't think of anything within 3 minutes, please just choose this, because, you know, as long as you have that criteria, I will be happy and you'll get full credit. So let's get started here. So file, new, doing 7 wide, 5 tall, 300 resolution, and a transparent background. And then I would title this so you don't lose it, whatever you're gonna make. I'm gonna call it house underscore painting. And then I'm gonna put your name, since you should put your name on there. All right, starting with the brush tool. Click here and hold, just make sure you have the brush tool, not the pencil. Pencil is different. You can barely probably see it. We don't want to use a pencil today. All right, brush tool. Brush is set on leaves right now. So let's choose a different brush. So if you right click the screen here, you can adjust your brush over here, but that takes longer. I like to just right click. And we're gonna go with the basic round brush here. Nice hard edge. All right, so I could fill up this whole screen going like this, or I could make the diameter a lot larger. Okay, I would say about 400 pixels would be good. But first I'm gonna pick like a nice light blue sky here. Something like that, okay? And then about 400 resolution would be just fine. There we go. So I'm gonna call this the hard edge layer. Okay, I don't like that capital letter there. New layer, I'm gonna call it the soft edge layer. And I'm gonna make this a little darker, something like that. And I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna go about 50% with this. And you can see that it's like softer, it's almost blurry, right? I'll show you a difference right there. So we'll put the 50 in the middle there. Let's do 100 over here. Right? And then we'll do like 0 hardness over here. Very faint, right? So, you know, I'm actually not even gonna go more than like 15% in the sky right now. I'm just gonna do a little bit. And I'm just being random with it. And now I'm gonna go a little darker. Put something up there. And I'm gonna change the hue of it a little bit more. Get some green in there. Maybe just go across like that or something. And I'm about done here. Don't really want to mess with it too much more. And that's it. Soft edge layer's done. So I have my background. Next thing to do is you want to make a foreground. Change the brush. If you remember my last thing, I made like a grass foreground. So I'm gonna do the same thing here real quick. When you right click, you can also change the type of brush. There's a bunch of different brushes you can choose from, but if you go towards the bottom, they have some more like gimmicky brushes, like the grass one here. Oh, look, I made grass. This brush is kind of interesting. If you look at the 2 colors over here to the left, I have the blue. I'm gonna do something that stands out real quick, like red and green. And you'll see that the brush kind of like goes in between the red and greens across the bottom here. That's too close to the night or my sky here, so I'm gonna change it up a little. I'll just go with like a mostly greens, maybe like a dark green and a light green, and just fill up my foreground here. fast as I can. And now that I'm seeing like my foreground with the background, I might actually change like the color of it. We'll see after I add the house and the tree if it really matters, but I'm thinking that it almost looks too white. Okay, all done. Now I need to make a house. I'm gonna label this layer. I want to be organized. Grass. Let's make a house. Okay. And I'm gonna go for, let's do a red house. I like that. It's about that color. Really red. Hitting brush. B for brush, sorry. That right there. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna go for a hard edge for the house. And it doesn't matter that I'm painting right on top of the grass because I'm gonna put it behind the grass layer later. I'm going for something basic here, just a square. That's a great house. There we go. Perfect, right? No, it's not. And that's okay. I'm not looking for something perfect. Now, to get in the house, I need a door, so let's make a door real quick. Get a little bit of a darker shade here. Door is almost done. Door. Put a window there. Yeah. We'll put 3 windows. Great. All right. I need to add a few little details real quick to this house to make it more believable that it's a house. So I'm going to go even a little darker with the shade, almost like a black. Get a smaller brush for the details. If you have to, you could, zoom in real quick and do this. But for me, I don't think it really matters. Trust me, it's going to look amazing later. Look, someone tried to get out of that window and they bent the bar. And let's make a doorknob there. Amazing, right? Okay. Tree. Let's make a tree. That looks about tree trunk size, right? And we'll go with something like brownish color. Actually, I like my current color, but maybe just darker. No, let's make a purple tree. That sounds fun. Make a new layer. Tree layer. Okay. Little happy tree. Very outgoing. Okay. Let's put a place for like an animal to hang out right here. Make it a little darker. Something like that. Oh, I don't like that the house is right there. I'm gonna put it behind the grass. I think that looks better. Like that. Probably the tree too. And maybe it doesn't look better. I'm gonna go with yellow leaves on this one. I think it's gonna look interesting. So again, right click, find some leaves, or maybe you could hand do your leaves. I like these, they stand out pretty easily. Oh, I like purple and purple there. Let's do like a purple and yellow color. There we go. Kind of makes it like a muddy color. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's not do that. Let's start with that, and that. That is a little better. I think it's a happy tree now. Perfect. Very happy tree. All right, so I need a sun now. I'm gonna go with like a nice orange for the sun to start with. Go back to the first brush we were using. I would go with a soft brush. However size you want to make your sun. I'm gonna go with something like this size. Boom. That's a great sun. And then I'm gonna change the color. I need to drink some water here. Allergies are getting to me. Oh, I like that nasty looking yellow. Let's use that. And kind of just layer the colors and see how it looks. I think that might be interesting if I just make it a little larger. Maybe like that. And then I'll put even another color inside that with a smaller brush. And make that yellow even more, not yellow, but that green even more present in it. And click like right there. All right. I think this looks great for a start for what I really want to do with this. Last thing, experiment with the blur tool. It's kind of fun, and it's something that you might need to use when we're painting. So this over here, click down on it, not the blur tool, the smudge tool, and you can change the size of it too. And so still on the sun layer, click on it and drag, make some sun rays, you know, play around with it, mix the colors. That could be fun, right? It actually looks more like fireworks now. Okay. And then even, oh, I even accidentally blurred the tree there. Let's go back. Whoops. Right there. So be careful of that blur tool. Yeah, very large amount of responsibility here. Don't mess up your tree. Okay. And you can go back there and even add like more color and mix it and experiment and have fun with it. The more color you have, the more blur, the more interesting this will be when you actually finish it. Because there's one step that I didn't show you guys, the final product. So you could go in here and blur the trees. Maybe you want to add some more color in the sky afterwards and experiment a little more. Maybe like, I think I need a little bit more of like a darker blue up in here. So you can sample that and get the same color again. Remember, you just press I for the eyedropper tool and like, yeah, I'll put that there. Yeah, I think that's just kind of bringing out the tree more. So I'm gonna do that. Maybe not that far over, and I think the brush might be too hard. So, oh, it's not too hard. Why is it? It's just coming out really dark. That's okay. Something like that, and then bring it over here. Then you can also come in and blur the sky out now if you want. I'm just gonna put like a little dash of color through there and there, maybe like right there and there, and then come in with that smudge tool, maybe make it bigger and just kind of blur out the back if you can. It won't be as noticeable, but it will work, and you might have to turn the hardness up if you really want to see it. Kind of smudge it out here. But that's pretty much set. We're done. There's one more thing. Just when you experiment with the filters, you could, I wouldn't really liquefy it, but oil paint is a really quick and easy way to just add some details to it that you wouldn't be able to normally do with a mouse. Merge all these together real quick. Losing my voice. Merge them together and hit oil paint. So you can change how intense you want this to be, but you can see like where I blurred it out and I added those little effects. I'm getting more detail. You can really mess with this and distort it how intense you want it to be. Cleanliness, I mean, that really looks more like paint. But we took something that looked very graphic-y and just added a quick filter to it, and I think it kind of doctored it up and really made it something that could be impressive to someone. It looks like he did a lot of work and really only took a few minutes. Hit OK. So there you go. You have an oil painting in a matter of minutes. What I would like you guys to do is like to select this. I just hit Control A and Control C, and then go and undo, because I want you guys to turn in a Photoshop file with this layer on top. You have your oil painting layer on top, so that way I can tell. Label it. Cancel here. Oil painting. So I got your grass layer, tree layer, and all these other layers, and then your oil painting on top. So I'm gonna go through that one more time because I know I did it really fast earlier. So I selected the bottom layer, and then I hit the button Shift on the keyboard, and I clicked the top, and see how it selected all my layers at once. And then I right clicked it, merged it. Now that's all one layer, and I can apply that filter to all of them. To oil paint. Okay, now I have an oil paint layer. Control A, I select it all, and then Control C to copy it all, and then just go back, paste it in there, put it on top, say oil paint filter. Okay, so really just want you to be able to select multiple layers, organize it, and understand how that works, but also, you know, in the end I want you to have a product that's pretty cool. Again, it doesn't have to be realistic colors. I have a purple tree here. This one I guess is somewhat realistic, but it's a cool way to add an impressionistic vibe. So should be an easy project. If you have other things to work on, just knock it out real quick, add a filter, turn it in. The two things I do want turned in, I would like, you know, your JPEG here, you can see, and then I have my Photoshop file right here. Okay, these two files right here. Thank you.